What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're going to talk about the extremely toxic controversy around Star Wars Outlaws, because this game, while it's not even out yet, has so much hate coming from pretty much every direction. Apparently, the main character is ugly, there's a season pass even though it's single player, and now, if you want the entirety of the Star Wars Outlaw experience, it's confirmed it will cost you $130. Let's get into this because I actually have a lot to say, and not even as like a Star Wars fan. Let's get into it. Hi, I hope you're having a great day. If you could, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, just to be clear, I'm a person that plays a lot of video games, but I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I mean, if something has a good story like Thrawn, I'll probably read it. A movie, I'll probably watch it. Or a game, I'll check it out. But to me, I've always been curious about the universe purely for the cool, actiony gameplay. I just want to swing a lightsaber around or shoot a phaser gun and blast some people. So I have been cautiously optimistic about Star Wars Outlaws, but a lot of people are very frustrated because the more we learn about it, the more it kind of seems like a scam. Now, I try not to use that word because it's very dismissive. I feel like as soon as you label something a scam, you're basically saying not only is it not worth the money, it will never be worth the money. Well, it turns out that a lot of the parts of this game they've been advertising, like the Jabba the Hut missions, it turns out that that stuff in the trailers is actually locked behind a season pass. A lot of people are already actually talking about boycotting the game or straight up saying that, hey, this is one of those things where you're going to have to wait until it goes on sale because right up front, it's definitely not worth the price. Now, the other major controversy that's kind of been stirring up, we're going to go very deep on the whole season pass and all the stuff that's locked out because it's insanely stupid. But the other part of this is a lot of people kind of claiming that the character is extremely ugly. I guess to me, I think this character is attractive, and even if she wasn't, like, this is the actress that she is facially based on. They've scanned this person's face. This is a person obviously photoshopping her to be uglier and crunched her face. That's a hell of a chin there. I'm with Mischief on this. The character looks just like a beaten up version of her model without makeup, aka this is how she would look as an outlaw. Okay, yeah, her haircut does suck. I mean, my point of view is the fact that I don't mind a character being ugly, whether they are male or female, I don't care. If your character is ugly, I mean, I play a lot of ugly characters. People who have watched my reviews, typically I make myself the weirdest, stupidest, goofiest looking guy possible in a game because I don't really care. As long as it's fun to play, I'm definitely down for it. And I think it looks pretty similar. I mean, it does just look like the model, maybe slightly more beaten up. This is the part of it that I think deserves the debate, deserves the criticism, deserves, honestly, to be as roasted as it's being. A lot of the internet is completely frying this game, and it's because of this announced season pass. So people are saying, do not buy this up front. We need to vote with our wallet and talk about why this is just so ridiculous. So for $70, you get the game itself. For $100, you get the base game, the season pass, which is the 2 DLCs, Jabba's Gambit, and also Kessel Runner character costume pack, super duper, and 3 days early access, whereas the ultimate edition is apparently the Sabak Shark bundle, so probably some extra costumes and stuff, a digital art book, 3 days early access, and the Rogue Infiltrator bundle. Now this is $130. That is insane. It's worth noting that Star Wars Outlaw is a single-player game, which has caused some of the questions in the need for a season pass. The word season implies that Ubisoft is saying there may be more than one set of DLC, which I probably doubt. Here's the thing. It's worth pointing out that the game costs $70 on console, which means Ubisoft values the season pass as being $40 of additional content, and then the cosmetics and digital art book are an additional $20. Ubisoft has yet to detail the 2 post-launch DLCs included in the season pass. Now, the game itself does look good. I'm not going to act like Star Wars Outlaws looks like a under-budget piece of crap. It definitely looks good, but to me, I almost get more upset when a good-looking game gets stupid DLC, because now instead of talking about the experience or the graphics or the gameplay, everybody is, I think understandably, laser focused on the fact that this does seem like a ripoff. I mean, it does suck, especially though, this is the part I actually wanted to talk about the most in depth. Star Wars Outlaws Jabba the Hut mission is locked behind the season pass. This deal is getting worse all the time. This is the part where I think this directly is what leads the most to these talks of a boycott. It's that this is actually downright bad business. Ubisoft has already come under fire for trying to release the season pass, but now people are noticing its highly anticipated Jabba the Hut mission is locked behind the season pass. As reported by Spanish outlet Accusations, Ubisoft's website is outlining the contents of the season pass. Oh God, $110 for the gold edition, which means if you want to play it early, beyond anything else, I do have this very deep annoyance. I have talked about this in multiple videos. It drives me nuts that they pay for early access. Like, that's the thing now is, okay, do you want to play Skull and Bones early? Do you want to play some big gigantic game? Pay an extra $30. I mean, even Microsoft has done this with games like Gears of War 4. There was a $100 edition you could play early. I think they did that with Gears 5. I mean, Sony, I don't think Sony has done that yet. I don't think Nintendo has done that yet. But a lot of the big AAA publishers like to do this thing where, oh, the more excited you are, the more we can milk you directly into my mouth. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, okay, so this $110 gold edition and the $130 ultimate edition reveals access to the Gambit of Jabba the Hut. Play the exclusive Gambit's Jabba mission at launch. Just as Kay is putting together her crew for the Canto Bent heist, she receives a job from Jabba the Hut himself. And okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people are basically saying this sucks because it is something they've actually advertised. Ubisoft has said in the past that players will have a chance to work for or even betray Jabba the Hut as head of the Star Wars Outlaws criminal faction. So it's weird does that mean we're still going to be able to do this? Are we going to be working with Jabba the Hut in some sort of way that isn't just this DLC? How big is this DLC? If it costs $40, is it actually going to be worth that rather significant price? Like, more than anything else, to me, it's wild to think this practically doubles the cost. Does that double the size of the content? I mean, is a $70 game half as much as a $110 game? Probably not. This is it. A lot of people are being like, this is why I will not defend these crappy early access editions with arguments like, oh, it's not taking away from other people's enjoyment, it's just a few days early. This is a jerk move to lock stuff that's otherwise going to be there day one behind an extra paywall. Now, some people have even pitched the idea, and I do believe this, games that have crazy extra missions in the middle of it that are DLC, story missions that are actually locked behind a paywall. A lot of times it is cut content. This is stuff, if it's actually substantial, this is stuff that is intended to be part of the game itself. This is stuff that is 100% supposed to be part of the main story that they cut out in order to sell it for a higher price tag. Or actual worst case scenario, there have been certain circumstances, specifically from Ubisoft in the past, where they've sold extra missions that make the game easier or different. One of the Assassin's Creeds had a pre-order DLC bonus mission which gave you a ring that let you deflect bullets, which meant that the rest of the game was totally different. I think that was Assassin's Creed 3, but we've also seen all sorts of time savers in other Ubisoft games. Hey, do this DLC mission and you'll be way overpowered for the rest of the game. I guess to me, it sucks. What if this Jabba the Hut mission is not just awesome? What if it changes the tuning of the single-player experience? Stuff like this just sucks. To the people that are saying they're not going to buy it, to the people that are actually outraged as hell, I support you guys. I have been very vocal. Just even in the last week, I've been talking about the fact that a lot of these big executives are talking about the need for $100 games. We got to find a way to get our cash and investment back. You know what? This is not going to lead to more profit. It's going to lead to a lot more upset gamers not even buying it day one. But that's just been my off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you guys think about this Star Wars Outlaws debacle? I mean, does it actually seem worth the stress, or were you not even going to buy it in the first place? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. I was pretty excited for this game. I thought the teaser trailers looked great, but man, if I have to pay $110 for early access to, I don't know, man, all this, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, personally. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.